What is up, guys? Welcome to the channel. My name's Micah, and today we're gonna talk about the DR-Z400 versus the new DR-Z4. Can the new best the old? Now, what better way to discuss and debate this than while off-roading our DR-Z400? Woohoo! Oh yeah, we got a little bit of a playground here, kids. Well, let's just mosey on through and start talking. So we had the announcement of this new DR-Z4S and DR-Z4SM. You know, it looks totally different. They kind of have this, wow, this is a mud pit here. They kind of have this like futuristic Cyclops looking headlight and front end. Woo! You know, we get the inverted forks even on the S model, which we never had. Fuel injection. Whoa, this is technical through here. Lots of big dirt clods and stuff. We might go down today. Which it's part of the fun. Whoa! Man, this is insane. Now it seems like Suzuki is retaining the 5-speed transmission, which a lot of people are upset about. You know, I think the 5-speed are going to change ratios and the gearing just a little bit. If I had to guess, I would say that first gear is going to be a little bit shorter than it was, and fifth gear and fourth gear will probably be a little bit taller than they were, which I'm indifferent about that. I kind of liked the tall first gear that the OG here had, because then for some technical stuff, you know, I never need to be thinking about, oh, should I be in first or do I need to switch to second? Like, first gear was decently tall. So for some hill climbs or stuff that you just needed a quick jolt of speed, you could stay in first gear, not worry about shifting. Now, and of course, fuel injection, that's always nice, right? Nobody's really gonna hate on the upgrade and addition of that, but carburetors are not a big deal when you only have one of them. There's no syncing or balancing. I mean, it's easy. Gotta decide what line I want to do through here. Well, I guess we'll just go through. Well, we'll go over this. Ah! These dirt clods are huge. Yeah, much more technical through here than I thought. But so fuel injection, we're all gonna like that, right? The thing for me about the new one here, oh, and this is gonna drop back down. Oh man, this is crazy. So rough through here. But for me, what I am not digging about this new DR-Z4 is that it got heavier. Right? And we're not even talking like a little bit heavier. We're talking like 20 pounds heavier. Woo! Whoa! Going down into the bottom. But yeah, the thing got like 20 pounds heavier. If it would have only been like 3, 4, 5, like 7 pounds. Okay, sure, whatever. We got a bunch of new things for about the same weight, but that it gained that much weight. Now, when you're talking about street bikes, it's not a big deal to add 20 pounds, right? You're just not throwing a street bike around. You're not fighting with it quite as much as you are an off-road machine. So while a 20-pound difference is not a huge thing when it comes to cruisers, nakeds, sport bikes, I mean, you might notice it, but it's not like a deal breaker. When you're talking about off-road stuff, yikes, 20 more pounds to fight with off-road? That is significant. And I don't like it. I don't want it. I don't want to fight with more weight off-road. Oh, that's too big of a ledge. That ledge is like 8 foot. We ain't gonna zip up that. So, I don't really know how that's gonna go over with riders who, you know, love the single track and love to get technical. Like a bike that weighs 330 to 340 pounds, you know, that's about the weight of like the XR650L and the DR-Z4S. You know, and people have strayed away from those when it comes to technical single track and stuff like that. Not that it's undoable, but you know, it wouldn't be your first choice. Certainly they have a little bit more torque and a little bit more power, right, those 650s, but we might be able to buzz up the side of this. Maybe. It's just one of those, you gotta send it and then think about what you did later. So I guess we'll do that. But yeah, so if you're talking about a bike that weighs about the same as some of your 650 and bigger CC contenders, why wouldn't you just take a DR650 or a Honda XR650 and get the extra torque and power? Like, if it's gonna have that weight, give me the power. Otherwise, there's not really any benefit to getting a heavier bike like that. Alright. Gosh, we're already going uphill, and then that goes significantly more uphill. I'm gonna feather my clutch and then just punch it right there. Whoa. Get up there, baby. Heck yeah. See, I don't know if I would have wanted to fight a heavier bike going up that, you know, a steep incline with big old dirt clods. So the weight, not thrilled about. We'll have to see. And it, you know, I said it before in another video, it's possible that it could just wear that weight really low and not seemingly be heavier. But as soon as you're trying to muscle that bike out of the mud or the sand or pick it back up from being laid over, yeah, you're gonna notice that extra weight. And if you've been riding all day and are physically exhausted, last thing you're gonna want is a heavier bike. Now, you guys may have remembered, sometimes when I talk about dual sport motorcycles, you know, and I talk about their roadworthiness, you know, I've said it before and I'll say it right now, like, you do want some weight to your bike when you are riding down the highway, you know, or something like that. you know, some of those featherweight dual sports on a windy day, or when you have a semi cruise past you. Oh man, you better be hanging on for dear life. Wow, this is just so rutted and rocky and muddy. Oh man, this is the sloppiest. Oh, look at that, just slop. Wow. Woo! And man, some steep ledges down through here. Not that we're going fast or doing anything crazy, but I'm gonna have to zip through that real fast, otherwise I'm gonna get stuck. Whoa! Yeah, it is a sloppy freaking mess through here. Oh man! Wow! I guarantee we're just shooting loose. Yep. Whoa! Drop off. That was a surprise. Get it! We're just throwing dirt like 30 feet in the air. Oh man. Yeah, it is. I don't want to get stuck back in here because I will not be able to push this thing out. But that's part of the fun, is getting yourself in a sticky situation and figuring out where to go from there. Oh yeah, we are. That's probably not smart to go through that, but we'll give her a try. Well, let's see, which line do we take? I think we take that far right one here. Hopefully this isn't too soft. It's pretty soft. Navigate through here. Whoop. All right. Nice. Now another thing that we don't know, or that I haven't seen yet, is the price. Like, what are the prices going to be like for that new bike with everything they put on it? Somebody please comment if you know or have heard anything about the price. Maybe it's out already now, but navigate through here. The Komatsu. Oh, can I get around that? Maybe. Guess we'll see. Roop-de-doo. Oh, right beside him. Excuse me, bud. Woohoo! Nice. Should try and pick a line here on this bumpy, dirt, cloddy section. Oh, looks like maybe we could, kind of a rough start up in there, but we might be able to kind of fandangle our way up. I don't know. Hitting lines for the first time that you never hit. You never quite know, kids. But we'll send it. I don't think we'd get too hurt even if we crashed. We'll see. Oh, made it. That was a little victory rev. A little victory rev, you know, keep morale high. Oh, and it just gets kind of ugly over there, so we'll turn around, maybe rip one more line. Now, some people are saying, oh, you know, with the fuel injection, now you can handle elevation changes and stuff a lot better. Well, like so my DRZ here, for example, I just have the factory jetting, right? So I've never done a jet kit, the 3x3 mod. I do not have a full exhaust. It's just a slip-on. So I'm, you know, running on stock performance, stock jetting. And, man, there's been guys on this setup that take their bike up to 14,000 feet and, you know, they do just fine. Oh, what line do I want to rip this time? We'll take a little bit more aggressive one. But, and I've had my bike to some spots with decent elevation, and, you know, it runs just fine. Anytime you're adding some elevation, you're gonna have seemingly less power. Woohoo! That was good. But, you know, it's not like my bike completely bogs out or anything like that. So the factory jetting, I mean, I've never had problems with elevation or anything like that. Big old rock just sitting there. Alright. We'll get one more hairy line. You can see where we started, and we're just working our way over, making them gradually steeper and harder. But there's kind of a big mess of stuff over there. I'd love to just rip a few lines down from the gully in the bottom, rip up here, jump that, jump this, then rip up there, but we'll try one after this and see how that goes. Probably won't, well, I don't know. Woohoo! Man, this thing's fun. Now let's talk about the looks again real quick on that new DRZ. Because at first I was like, oh man, it's restyled, that's so awesome, yes, we've been waiting so long for this. The more I look at that new style, the more I don't like it. It just almost looks, I don't know, it doesn't look super dirt bikey. It looks kind of just like if an alien rode a motorcycle. That's kind of what I picture that they would be on. I mean, it doesn't look horrible. You know, I'm not trying to say it's an ugly bike. I think it's, you know, it's sleek and definitely looks more modern. But I'm not going to say that I like it, the looks of it, better than the old one here. I think there's something to be said of this older DRZ design. Well, shoot, we'll just blaze right up this. Wow, it's so soft. But on the seat, we need the extra weight. Yeah, baby! Oh, and that's that steep ledge that I can't get up. And then enough has changed on the new DRZ that, well, probably everything from levers to exhaust, foot pegs, skid plates, fender eliminators, you know, all kinds of stuff like that. It's gonna be new parts, new part numbers. They might not even be available right away. You know, we'll go through the middle. Oh man, you hit some soft spots there that really want to slow you down. But yeah, if you got that new DR-Z4, you know, that's just too lumpy. I can't get through that. There is no way. But if you got that bike right when it gets to dealers, you know what, it's April, I think it was, April or May. They're supposed to be hitting dealerships. I mean, if you wanted an exhaust right away, I don't know if you'll be able to get it. You wanted a skid plate because you had a enduro trip with some buddies planned out in the mountains, you know, or in the desert, and there's plenty of rocks. Like, will there be a skid plate available? Probably not right off the bat. Well, and no doubt one brand is gonna, you know, make a few parts for them, and they're just gonna charge out the ass. So, like, instead of getting a skid plate for 60 bucks, it's probably gonna be 360. I'll just kind of traverse off the path and through here. Well, now, instead of going that way, we'll cut this way. Oh my gosh, is it sloppy. Oh, I thought I was gonna get stuck down in there, in that bottom for a second. Nice little lake there. Whoa! Wheelies. Man, there'd be lots of little jumps here, you know, if it was dry, but I just can't get enough speed and it doesn't feel good coming off these muddy little hills and ledges. Now, something I've thought about as well is what's gonna happen to the market for these older style DRZs, right? Oh, that looks like I shouldn't go in there because it'll be too sloppy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I should not have gone through here. Oh my gosh, please, please, please get through. Oh, thank goodness. Now, should I go through that gully and try and get up that mountain? Tire. Look at this, my rear tire just packed full of mud. Oh man, you just have to like be on that gas, be blowing the rear tire off so it cleans itself. My shoes are all muddy, just sliding all over the peg. It's fun. What's the worst that could happen? Well, we get stuck or we crash. Like, actually, the worst that could happen is not great. Oh, yeah. Get into second. Oh, and oh, man, okay. Keep momentum, go, baby! Yeah! Woo! Okay, I did not want to go down that. I was not prepared for that. Okay, we'll hit it at an angle. Sometimes you can get down those real steep ledges like that if you just take a slight angle, kind of lock up your back brake and you kind of just slide down them. Whoop! So yeah, the market for the older ones, what's going to happen? Well, I don't know. It just really depends on how people like the new one and how well that goes over. You know, I think there's already kind of a cult following, you know, for these DRZs. They call them the king of dual sport, the OG I mean, a lot of things are really perfect about them, right? Just the engine size. It's kind of in the middle of the spectrum, that 400. It's not the smallest, it's not the biggest. Uh-oh. This kind of looks fun. These tracks look like they could really take us if we get off. But, oh man, that's kind of cool. Going through that track, because it's like deeper than my pegs. But, you know, I think a lot of the diehards, I'm going to call myself a diehard right now, too. A dual sport diehard. But I think a lot of those guys, you know, who are really enthusiasts and who really know that it's not as much the bike as it is the rider. You know, a lot of those guys, they're always going to have a DRZ. They're always going to sing its praises. And, you know, I think the newer DRZ, it appeals to a younger crowd, right? It appeals to people who have never ridden a DRZ, right? They've just looked at it on paper and they thought, well, it's not the most powerful, it's not the lightest, it uses a carburetor, it's a 5-speed, you know, and I think a lot of these kids, when they're deciding on a dual sport, you know, just looking at it on paper, it seems like a pretty bad option, right? You're like, well, why would I pay for like a model that was cool 20 years ago, but now, you know, just doesn't have all the new technology and stuff that some of the other ones have. So I think the new DRZ definitely gonna appeal to those guys. But like for me, oh, can we get through here? Yep, barely. Whoa. If I had to take one motorcycle, we are not even talking about just dual sports anymore. If I had to take one motorcycle into the middle of nowhere, 100 miles from the nearest city or anything, it is absolutely going to be a DRZ400. Like, you know, I'm a diehard Kawasaki and Honda fan. Gosh, those are my favorite two brands. And never really been a fan of Suzuki as a whole. You know, they've got some excellent contenders. They got a couple cruisers that I really like. The Hayabusa is like king of its class, you know, right? A big name in the super sport bike category, but oh, there's another dual sport over there. Nice. Let's go say hi. That's so awesome. Looks like he's just kind of going around the edges. He's not getting into anything too crazy like we are. I'm just zipping lines through all this, trying to see if there's stuff that this DRZ can't do. And what is it? Oh, it's a gas. What's up, man?
How's it going?
Not too bad. Taking the gas out. You don't see those too often.
Yeah, just getting it broke in actually, so I can't really get on it quite yet.
Sure, yep. Oh, that's cool.
50L too, the street bike. So.
Yeah.
KTM 300 XTW, that's my dirt bike.
Okay, so you know what you're doing.
Those are pretty popular, aren't they? I've just been seeing them on this dual sport group I'm on.
Yeah, I mean, they're so cheap, they're so reliable. And so, yeah, I've had a couple of these. And they're just, I mean, they're just middle of the spectrum. Not too heavy, not too light, not too fast, not too slow.
Yeah. Pretty muddy back in there, huh?
Oh, dude, I've been cutting lines through all of this, and some of it I was like, I don't know if we're getting out of here. So yeah, I had to say hi and see what you were riding.
Yep. Oh,
Oh, that is groovy, man. Have fun. Dang. The Gas 700 back in here. That's cool. I wonder if he lives nearby and had heard us ripping and decided to come out. Oh, I wonder if I could cut right up there. We'll see. Gosh, there's it's got some steps to it. Oh, I don't love it, I don't like it, but we'll do it for you guys. For you guys. Whoa. Oh, baby. That got hairy towards the top. Wow, I didn't see those top ledges, you know, things you just can't see when you're down looking at it. That's why you gotta cover the clutch with one finger, you know, be ready to brake or hit the gas, kind of just anticipate, you know, the unexpected. And that was close. We got pretty close to putting her down right there. Well, guys, so moral of the story. Even though we've got a new updated model coming out, about to be in the hands of everybody who wants it, the moral of the story is that the old one is pretty darn good for what it is. Oh man, that was soft in there. Ah! Nice. But we are unstoppable. Whoa. Unfrickin' stoppable on this thing. I'll cut up here if we can. Ah! We'll go down in here. I don't think, oh man, it is soft. I shouldn't have gone down in here. But we're committed now. You know what would be awesome is if with the release of the new one, the old DRZs get dirt cheap for like a couple of years until people realize that, oh wait, those are actually like really good bikes. The funniest thing will be is if the consensus is, after the new one's been out and been reviewed by everybody, it'll be funny if everybody agrees that the old one was better and to stay away from the new one. You know, if for some reason it's plagued with problems or stuff. Oh my gosh, that'll be so funny. Now, are we gonna trade our old one in on a new one? Whoa! Well, you know, I'm gonna try and get a hold of a new one, is what I'll say for now. Is the DR-Z400S gonna disappear? I don't know. I wouldn't count on it. Well, guys, so like the video if this was fun or helped you out. Subscribe if you want to see more. And until next time. Have a wonderful night, guys. Woo! Well, we should just end the video now because I ain't setting this wheelie down anytime soon.